Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live Talk of the Crown weekly chat episode. Hello, I hope you've all had a really fabulous and amazing week, and we have lots of royal news to be talking about this week. Of course, we have the Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex African tour, or rather I should say they're in South Africa at the moment, and obviously Harry has branched off during the tour, but Meghan has stayed in South Africa. And we also have William and Catherine, who have been out along with the Boating McBoatface, which I hope you watched my live chat where I spoke about that. And we also have the news that Princess Beatrice is engaged finally to Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, who is actually an Italian count, I do believe. So hello and welcome. And basically, if you're new to this live chat, I do this every week, every Saturday, live at 10 o'clock PM GMT, which is Greenwich Mean Time, British time. And I just thank you for spending your time with me. So let's just get going. For those of you who don't know, this chat is led by you. I answer your questions, and I will try and answer them as best I can and with as much knowledge as I can possibly give you. And obviously sometimes we don't know things, so I may have to say that we don't know something, or we may have to wait for something to come to light. But I imagine a lot of this chat's probably going to be about Harry and Meghan in Africa and baby Archie. We also got to see baby Archie too. Now, for those of you wondering what slow mode is on to basically slow down the chat a little bit, because usually we get several hundred people in here at one go, and if they're all typing, it can get very fast, and I can miss questions, the moderators can miss questions, so slow mode does help slightly. It also prevents trolls from repeatedly pressing buttons, so I thank you for understanding that slow mode is on. I can see all the hellos, so hello to everybody. Shelley, oh no, let's go with James Medford first, who says, Princess Beatrice, a winter wedding? We don't know. All we know from the official announcement is that it was 2020. So, could it mean spring? Could it mean summer? Although it could possibly a bit hot in summer. Who knows? Could it be autumn? We really don't know. Winter, even. Maybe next winter. No, I don't think so. I'm thinking maybe May next year, but we don't know. Thank you to Becky for your comment. What do I think of Edo? Okay, well, his friends and family do call him Edo. That became apparent in the engagement announcement, which I'll read in a moment. No, actually, I won't read it because I read it in the other live chat. But if you want me to read it, tell me and I will read it. So his family do call him Edo and Beatrice, and I don't think we know that much about him. I mean, we know a little bit of his family history. We know about his previous relationship, and he has a son. But I don't really know much about him as an individual, as a person, as a personality. And I would like to probably think that Princess Beatrice wouldn't go for someone who has a horrible personality. So I'm thinking that they must be matched in terms of personalities, and we don't really get to see. We haven't really seen his personality come through in anything, I don't think, at the moment. But maybe that will develop over time. But yes, I mean, if you compare Edo to Jack Brooksbank, Princess Eugenie's husband, he's always kind of exuded kind of warmth and joy. He's kind of like a little puppy dog, I think. Edo is a little bit more reserved, I find, and those sorts of people are a little bit harder to read, I think. But that doesn't mean to say that they're bad people or that they don't have a personality. It just means that it's harder to see unless you're kind of in there a little bit. So I'm going to have to reserve judgment on that question, I think. But I hope you understand that kind of answer. Vinnie Blair doesn't like Edoardo, who says he looks very sketchy and dodgy, but you'll wait and see. Well, again, I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying about he's more reserved. If you compare him to Jack Brooksbank, who's like a little puppy dog, all happy and, like a ray of sunshine, Edo is a little bit more reserved, and those sorts of people are a bit more difficult to read. Auntie D says, baby Archie is a cutie. Well, that I most definitely can agree on. And it was amazing this week to see Archie fully, properly. And hopefully that's put all those baby doll rumours completely to put. Because there he was. For anybody who did doubt if he was a real baby. And believe me, there were some people that did. Thank you, Lizard Lady. Most definitely a real baby who looks very much like Prince Harry. I think lots of people were saying that they could see Harry in him, and there were lots of comparison photos going on out there of, you know, Harry and Archie next to each other, and I have to say he does look a lot like Harry. But who knows, as children get older, they can often, their appearance can change. Live, Love and Laugh says, baby Archie is really to die for. He's a beautiful boy. He is indeed. Let's have a look. Just going down a few things. Maggie thinks Edo is handsome. Sharona says, do you think Edo, since he's an Italian count, do you think he will get a title? No. I mean, obviously, if you have a title, you can be addressed by that title in any country, but you are not recognised as a count in the UK. So officially, he is still just an ordinary citizen in the UK, even though he has an Italian title. In terms of how that's recognised in the UK, it's not legally recognised as a title for the UK. Although he can be known as it, but just it's not kind of legally. So yes. I don't know. I'm presuming that probably, seeing as Jack Brooksbank didn't get anything, that probably Edo won't either. I think that's probably going to be the case. Yes, their families do know each other, and he has known Beatrice for a number of years. Rhonda says, no need to read the engagement announcement again. It's very long, but if you want to hear me read it, it's in the previous live chat, I think. Yes, he does have a child, and there was a bit of a controversy over his breakup with his ex, who he has the child with. It was kind of around about the time that he met Beatrice, and Beatrice was getting a bit of blame for splitting them up. I don't think that was the case. I think I read somewhere that their relationship had been on the rocks for a while. They were already in the process of splitting. In fact, I think she may have even have moved out at that point and may have gone to live in America, because she has family in America. I'm sure it may even be New York, I think. So yes, that split was going on round about the same time that Beatrice met him. So there was a bit of a controversy at the time about that. Leslie says, well, Leslie would say, if her comment if the screen didn't jump all the way down to the bottom, let me go back up. Aha, Leslie says, oh my goodness, it was a thrill to see baby Archie, adorable, precious. It seems like yesterday we were all anxiously awaiting his arrival. It was so nerve-wracking but fun to share. It was indeed. And I really appreciated the way that they did it in their own way. Yes, it did satisfy the press. Yes, it was what the press were waiting for. But they did hold out. They didn't bow to pressure and do it any old time. I think they did it their way, how they wanted it to be done, and how it was presented, and who to, because of course it was to present Archie as well to Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and of course, you know, that they must have thought was you know, a magical moment to introduce Archie to him. And of course, you know, they'll probably feel that Archie will be blessed all of his life for meeting Desmond Tutu. So I think that, you know, there's a few things in play, but I'm glad they did it their way. HM the King says, you think? I'd never seen the chap before the engagement photos. Well, I'd seen him in paparazzi press photographs. Hello to Georgia Sunshine. Hello. How are you? And Georgia says, baby Archie is adorable, indeed. Stephanie A. Dory says, the announcement photos are beautiful, black and white photos are gorgeous. Yes, Beatrice, there was some official colour ones, and then Sarah Ferguson, Sarah Duchess of York, I should say, is her divorce title. She posted a series of black and white photos, which I included in a video. So yes, go and take a look at those if you haven't already. And black and white kind of makes everything look artistic, doesn't it? Oh, thank you to Shelley, who says you understand my answer. Well, that's always a start, at least. Please say if you ever don't understand any of my answers. Liv Livnath says, I thought the same, he comes across as dodgy. Well, like I say, let's not confuse dodgy for reserved. I think sometimes the two can probably get mixed up a little bit, but we don't know enough about him to judge, I don't feel. Sharona says, no interview with the engagement couple. I was surprised. Yes, we didn't get that, did we? We did get an interview with Eugenie, but we haven't with Beatrice. Now, does that signify maybe that she may be opting for a more low-key wedding? We will have to wait and see. I mean, further details will become available as time goes on, and of course, as soon as they do become available, I will bring them to you. It could herald a more private wedding, perhaps. Maybe even a wedding abroad, maybe even in Italy. Who knows? Maybe Beatrice doesn't want a big, massive fanfare of a wedding, and maybe she doesn't want the scrutiny of her wedding being costed and put in the press and all that business. You know, big public weddings are not for everybody, even if you're a princess. So, it could herald a more private wedding, it could herald a wedding abroad, or we could get a big fat royal wedding like what we're used to. We really don't know at this stage. But the ring was gorgeous. I really did like the ring. Cheryl says, I'm very happy for Beatrice. She deserves happiness after what the other guy... yes, her ex did get married so soon after they broke up. Yes. And it can always be hard when your ex-partner moves on so quickly from you. That can always be a really, really, really big struggle, and I really felt for Beatrice at the time. Cheryl says, oh no, I read that one. T. French says, new nickname proposed, Beatrice and Eduardo. Biedo. Oh, Biedo, that's a good one. Or Edo B. An Edo B. Or Biedo. Verna says, to be honest, it did cross my mind that Beatrice got engaged because everyone has gotten married already. Hope she's not rushing. Well, I kind of share your sentiments, I have to say, and I'm kind of glad you brought it up. I didn't really want to bring it up, but seeing as you have, let's go there. Let's go in deep. So yes, she did break up. She left it a little while. Got with Edo. I hope he's not the rebound guy. I'm hoping not. I don't think so. I don't think she'd be that silly, to be quite honest. But yes, when you've got everyone around you getting married and you're the kind of last on the shelf, there must be a certain amount of pressure going on. I hope it's not that. I hope it is a love match going on, or else, you know, if it's not a love match, then it's destined to fail. So I'm hoping it's a love match. I hope he's not. I hope she isn't rushing in, but only they know the answer to that one. Southern Belle says he was with Beatrice at Lady Gabriella Windsor's wedding. Yes. Mikhail says, thank you for the black fan on those trolls. Yes, let's give trolls black fans all the time. Hello to Ali G in the Gold Coast, Australia. Janice says, Archie's a real baby and Harry and Meghan are his parents. Peridot. Yes, Peridot is my birthstone as well. Elect Lady Gloria. Oh, did you change your name? Is it just Elect Lady now, or was it always Elect Lady Gloria? Says, now they are saying that the surrogate finally gave them the baby. Oh my goodness. Of course they'd say that. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. The surrogate finally gave them the baby. Whatever. Hello to Jamila. Rhonda says, hope you are feeling better today. Thank you. Annette says, it's hard to judge his personality. I don't think I've ever heard him talk. Exactly. So it's hard to judge, and we probably shouldn't judge. Don't be judgmental, people. So you're already making up your mind on only pictures, not his words or works. Jury's out, but I wish her well. Exactly. We only have pictures and that kind of thing going on. So, you know, in the engagement interview for Eugenie, we got to see Jack's personality. I mean, Jack, even in photographs, has this kind of radiating smile that I think, you know, those kind of puppy dog eyes that I think kind of radiates that. But we also got to see, you know, a mass of his personality in the interview, and we didn't get to see that, as you rightly said, with Edo and Beatrice, because they didn't do one. Coco says, at Misha Nunu's wedding, Meghan and Harry arrived with Edo and Jack in the same car. That should have been a sign things were serious. And I do believe Edo went to Balmoral as well, which I think may have been to tell the Queen. They don't have to ask for permission, but it could have been just out of courtesy to inform the Queen of what was going on. Elizabeth says, hi Elliot, thank you for what you do and hope you will feel a bit better after your very hard time. Thank you. And I am going to reschedule the Patreon chat for tomorrow at 9 p.m. Juliet says, ooh, I made it on time today. Hi from Texas. Hello to everyone in Texas. Stephanie A. Dory says, Archie looks like a beautiful blend of mom and dad. And Verna says, hope we get to see Archie again before the tour is over. I don't know. I mean, there could be another opportunity to see Archie. Yeah, we'll take a look at the schedule in a moment. I've got the schedule in front of me, and I will have a quick scan, and I will see if I can guess when there could be another chance to see Archie. I think the last time I looked, I kind of pinpointed one where I thought he could make an appearance. I did also predict Desmond Tutu, so I'll take another look and see if I can remember where it was, but there was one that I did see. Right, everything's skipped down again. Let's just kind of go all the way back up. Okay, I think I found where I was. Yes, Cheryl says, I think Archie's going to have his father's personality. We really can't tell at this moment, but he certainly got the look of Harry, I think. Live Love Nass says, read that Edo's stepdad died of a heart attack at Glastonbury Festival. That must have been extremely hard. Thank you to T. Wells. Elizabeth says, I wish them all the happiness in the world. He seems a good bloke. He does. But like I say, I don't know what kind of wedding they're going to have. Diana says, have you heard if Prince William or Prince Harry have congratulated Princess Beatrice yet? Rather unusual if they haven't yet. Well, you see, Princess Eugenie has an Instagram account. So, they could, but Princess Beatrice doesn't. So, if Princess Beatrice had her own individual account, they, you know, William and Catherine could, or Harry and Meghan could have liked it, sent them a post, whatever. But seeing as she doesn't, it's a bit more tricky. So, we don't really know. So, maybe they sent a congratulations personally, because of course, you know, Beatrice and Eugenie are not official working royals. And that could be a reason why as well. Okay, what do the 4 parts of the flag mean? Do you mean this one behind me or the Union Jack? This is the royal standard, and of course it's the Lions of England and Ireland, and it's all the emblems going on of the United Kingdom. And Wales as well. Let's have a look. Christine says, what about the next Invictus Games? I thought they were taking place during the spring of 2020. Good point. But, you know, they only take place over a few weeks, and spring is a long time. So I would hope that they wouldn't overlap. And if they do overlap, I'm sure they could work out ways of getting there. Thank you to Gail. Southern Bell says, Edo stared at the cameras while walking into the church in all the photos. Yes. Shronas says, good point, but usually did an interview. She did indeed. Yes, I would agree, a whirlwind romance. Some people, Elizabeth thinks Archie's too big for 4 months old. Well, we know he's doing lots of feeding, don't we? Maybe that's the reason why. He's probably a good feeder. PM Smile says, we first got to hear Jack Brooksbank speak in an engagement video with Eugenie. Both were giggly, blushing cute. Hope Beatrice and Edo will share too. We can only hope. Yes, Dawn, you cannot get over how much Archie looks like his daddy. And Rhonda says, are Jack and Edo eligible to receive titles in the UK? No, not technically. However, the Queen could bestow if she wanted, but that hasn't happened with, previous precedent, so I'm not anticipating it. If Jack didn't, then I don't think Edo will either. Georgia Sunshine says, Christy says, I thought the black and white photos were beautiful. They were indeed. Like I say, anything in black and white always looks artistic and professional and edgy. MH44 says, Master Archie with Archbishop Desmond Tutu's daughter was a nice moment. Yes. And HM the King says, the people here judging him from a picture wouldn't be able to live through the Wallace Simpson years. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the Wallace years? Imagine if I had my channel during those historic moments. My goodness. It would all be Wallace this. Can you imagine what the press would have been like with Wallace? I mean, they were saying things anyway, but that's by those standards. I mean, they were slightly more polite back then. Can you imagine now? My goodness. If we still had the same moral values, of course. Vinny Blair says, I think the photos were gorgeous, as was the ring. We're indeed. Rosary says, just read the man's bio. He was engaged. They broke up in 2018. They have a son. In 2018, he dated the princess. Now they're engaged. Yes, I would say whirlwind. Yes, earls. So, if a title would have been given to Jack and Edo, probably would have been an earl. But I don't think that's going to happen now. Yes, they have known each other a very long time. Christine says, I cannot imagine Prince Andrew and Sarah allowing Princess Beatrice to have a small wedding. Well, it's not about allowing her. It would be her choice. And I'm sure they would go along with whatever it is that they wanted. Well, she wanted. The couple wanted. Yes, I hope it's a love match too. Cheryl says, they said Harry rushed to marry Meghan. I don't think he is the rebound guy. They broke up more than 2 years, I think. Yes, and of course, Harry and Meghan's was fairly a whirlwind romance too. So yes, I would accept that comparison entirely. Magna says, Prince Philip and the Queen don't travel anymore, so if she wants to be on their good side, that means wedding at Windsor and second ceremony in Italy. It could be a double ceremony wedding. Could be. D. Ray says, I am very happy for Beatrice. I think she is in love too, but I'm not sure about him. We'll have to wait and see. Hello to Veronique. Vivian says, I finally received a notification. Thank you. I'm glad YouTube's sending them out again. Been catching up with you later. Thank you. Yes, when one door closes, another door opens, indeed, and that is most definitely true. PM Smile says, if it's a wedding, royal style, I bet Prince Louis will be included as page boy. He'll be 2 years old. Perfect. Again, it's fun to speculate, but we really don't know. Right, I'm going to kind of skip down a little bit. Hang on. Or else we'll be here for ever and ever and ever. Yes. So, Elderly Poodle says, my loyalty is strong to you all. When I let my hair dry naturally, it's going to be bad. Oh no! Go dry your hair. I don't want you to have bad hair for me. Karen says, maybe Archie will be introduced to the president in South Africa. Could be. That could be enough. Okay, what's going on? Okay, can you see me? I just had to press the button and reconnect. It said reconnect. Oh yes, I think you can see me. Okay, that's fine. I was just hoping I hadn't cut off. Catherine says, Duchess Meghan and the Duke has kind hearts the way they honoured the slain young and her family. Yes, and of course we did get information finally on Meghan's solo engagement that she had on the morning. Now, it was, of course, a private engagement, and she did go to pay her respects, which I thought was absolutely very touching and moving and loving. And I think that's why it was private, because Meghan wanted to not make something so personal so public. And I also think that's why they waited to release the information on it, because she didn't want it to be, a case of, oh, look at me, I'm doing this. She wanted to really be in the moment and, really experience why she was there, why she felt she wanted to be there to do that. And then obviously, tell people what happened. So that was really, really touching indeed. Sonia says, good morning from New Zealand. Daylight saving hours started today. Almost missed the live. I think in the UK it's the last week in October our daylight saving time changes. But I will tell you when it comes up, because it will make a difference to chat times. Christine says, do you think people are going to demand more of baby Archie now? I feel like seeing him has made people even more excited now. Well, it's not always the people that demand to see him or any royal child. I think it's more the press. I think the press know that there is a public appetite for pictures of royal children, which is why they go after it, because they know it sells newspapers. But I don't know in terms of when we're next going to see Archie. Possibly again on this tour, but I'll take a look in a moment. The next time, more than likely, would probably be the Christmas card. I'm thinking we'll probably see an official portrait being taken for their Christmas card coming out. Oh, PJR says you thought you had seen the Cambridge congratulations on their page. I haven't, so if you have seen it, well, would it have been Sarah's page, or would it have even been the royal family's page? Maybe. I would have to take another look at that. Yes, the two red sections are lions, which represent England. Yes, and Scotland, and the harp represents Ireland. And also we have the Welsh dragon, look. No, we don't. What am I on about, the Welsh dragon? It's a lion. Oh my goodness. I still have a brain like mush. My goodness. You know what? I looked up there for a moment and I saw a dragon, and it's not. It's a lion. Cotton Pat says, I've never understood the obsession with the royals. I am here to attempt in understanding. Well, welcome. And to be honest, if you're here in an attempt to understand it, you must kind of have an underlying interest, I would imagine. So, hello and welcome. Yes, I think they do have private WhatsApp groups within the royal family, so perhaps they congratulated on the private WhatsApp groups. Okay. Oh, why isn't Wales represented? It's because it's a principality of England, so it kind of comes in under there. But Wales is represented as well as part of the Union. So yes, there's no Welsh dragon. I don't even know why I said Welsh dragon, to be honest. But yes, it's because it's a principality. H.M. the King said basically what I said. Cotton Patch says, doesn't this obsession promote voyeurism? Is there a direct correlation between royal fans and celebrity gossip fans? Well, I think you have kind of hit something on the head there. This is what I've been saying for people that have watched me for the last maybe 8-9 months. I have said that there is a difference between celebrity and royalty. So I understand that question entirely. And with regards to voyeurism, the royal family has always been a little bit of a voyeuristic beast in terms of the public that they represent. So it's always been that way, and I don't think that's ever going to change. However, like I say, there is a difference between how royals behave and royals that are born royal, royals that marry in. Even if you marry into the family, if you're not born royal, you are royal just by marrying into the family. So automatically, even if you were a celebrity previously, you're elevated then to royal status, and that is different to being a celebrity. Basically, you're royal then, unless you get divorced, for life. Whereas being a celebrity, you've got more freedom to pick and choose when you want, if you want to be a celebrity. For example, let's just take Beyonce. Now, of course, how famous Queen Beyonce is. But if she technically decided, I don't want to be famous anymore, I don't want to make music, I don't want to make films, I just want a private life, she could kind of do that. But being a royal, you kind of don't. I mean, look at the Duke of Edinburgh in his 90s, the Queen in her 90s, her cousins are working in their 80s. It's just not something that you do. It's there for life. So there is a difference. I think royals do act differently to celebrities, and I think at the moment there's a little bit of people trying to treat them like celebrities when they're not. So I'm interested to see how that develops too, and it is kind of a new thing, I think, as well. PJR says, holy cow, they would have figuratively tied Wallace to a pyre and set it alight. Probably. Yes, that would have been crazy. Jennifer says, lizard lady on Wallace, just imagine. Oh my goodness. Oh, she'd have a field day, wouldn't she? Stephanie A. Dory says that her toilet time would be very busy thinking up stories about Wallace. Stephanie A. Dory says, I think Archie will be a very special royal, having Meghan and Harry as his parents. I think Archie will be exactly what the firm needs for the future of the monarchy. Depends what role he has. I mean, we don't know what's in Harry and Meghan's mind with regards to, when Charles is king. Will they allow Archie to take up his birthright and be a HRH and a prince, or will they say no in the same kind of way that Edward and Sophie did for James Viscount Severn and Lady Louise? We don't know. We really don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what's in their heads. Flossmog Payne says, well, that's me spitting chips, Jamie. Dependency, course truth. No, I would... Principality. A principality. There you go. Right, and I've just kind of skipped all the way down to the bottom. My goodness. But I think I've kind of come on to the next question, or rather thing. 18 the King says, it dates back to when Edward I conquered Wales in the late 1200s. He made it his principality and made his eldest son Prince of Wales. And since then, the title has been used by the eldest son. Indeed. And I've just kind of skipped down again. Something Bell says, I think I'm thinking about designing a flag with dragons. I think I've got... Well, I don't know why I got dragons in my head, but when I was looking in the camera, the foot of it looked a bit like a dragon. And for just a moment, I was like, dragon, really? Brain, mush? It could be a pregnant beaver. Yes, it could. Mikhail says, Meghan did it her way because she has class. Well, I'm glad that they presented Archie their way. Oh, do you mean the visit? Yes, I agree entirely. Yes, her private visit. She did do it that way because she has class. Yes. Yes, I think today David would have married Wallace. I think that's quite correct. Christine says the news broke while Meghan was off duty, so I don't think it did interfere with the tour. Harry was flying to Botswana, I think, so it's fine. She did that visit early in the morning, so yes. Okay, and people said that they could see me. That was back then. So I'm going to skip all the way down again. No, I have not contacted the Sussex family to be their new PR. I would like to, though. Elizabeth says, at the moment, New Zealand time is with daylight saving 11 hours here in Switzerland and 10, I think, your way. Wow. It's incredible to think of that distance in time. Ethan the King says, Buckingham Palace needs to hire a pregnant beaver to hunt down the press again, like it did in Canada on the royal tour. No pregnant beavers. Sharona says, do you think Princess Beatrice announced her engagement on that day because it was a slow news day when it came to the royal tour? Possibly. That could have been something that they considered. Auntie D says, 10 years with someone and no ring. I know the feeling. Good for Princess Beatrice moving on and best wishes. And Vinnie Blair says, Archie is destined for the history books as the first mixed race royal and first American adjacent royal, despite how he's brought up. His Royal Highness or not? Yes, most definitely. And Carolyn says the lion is on the animal of England. The unicorn is Scotland. You can't remember. Yes, the dragon is Wales. PJR says, then bloody well contact them. Harry and Meghan need you. I think they're pretty much sorted with their team, but I would love to do something for them. H.M. the King says the Irish animal is a leprechaun and with a big pot of gold. I think a leprechaun sliding down a rainbow into a big pot of gold should be on the Irish flag. I think we should petition to change it. What do you think, H.M. the King? Thank you to Auntie Dees for the hug. I will virtually hug back. Southern Belle says, just send Princess Anne to a press conference. The media will put in their place with snazzy answers. Oh my goodness. I bet they're always on their best behaviour when she's around, because she'll tell them, won't she? She will get her metaphorical black fan and just go at them, won't she? You all know she will. Thank you to Cheryl. Cranberry B says, do you think William or Harry go to Japan if the England team does well? That would be interesting. It depends what they've got on in their schedule, because obviously they have engagements penciled in, planned 6 months in advance, sometimes a year. So, on a whim, just because if they were doing well, there would have to be a gap in their engagements to go. So, unless they've penciled in a gap, in case they do well, then I don't know. It's probably unlikely, but unless they've planned for that. Annette says, PJR says, the harp is the emblem of Ireland. Yes. Annette says, I think Harry and Meghan are both charismatic and their connection is so palpable that you can feel it through the TV, all the way to the US. And it was so cute to see them kiss. Oh, the kiss was lovely, wasn't it? It was a nice kiss. H. the King says, there's a lot of reforming needed in the Irish flag and symbols. Pot of gold and a rainbow and a leprechaun is the way to go. Patricia says, and a shamrock. I doubt Harry will want Archie to take on the title of prince once his grandfather becomes king, because both parents want to protect their child. That could be the case. We are really going to have to wait and see. PJR says, Princess Anne scares me. I would not want to cross that woman. And Auntie D says, Princess Anne gives good clap back. She does. They wouldn't do anything to her, would they? I don't think they dare. Elizabeth says, looking forward to see your garden tomorrow and enjoy your coffee. What is it called again? Tim Hortons. But I've run out. But I need to go to my post box because some people have said they've sent something, and I've not gone for a few weeks, so I need to go to my PO box tomorrow. Do I think Beatrice would move to Italy? No, I don't think they've moved. They may have some kind of home there, but I don't think they'll move there. Hitting the King says the Irish flag will be changed when the North eventually unites. Bisani Golf says Prince Charles will be attending the enthroning of the new Emperor of Japan. Yes, I knew that was coming up. So yes, that's been long in the planning. So that will be very interesting to see, you know, a different form of enthroning ceremony. B2B Field says you need to send notes or cards and suggest they hire their own photographers for events and engagement. Well, I think they've started to do that. I mean, we've seen a lot more on their Instagram of what they've produced. Ooh, what's happened to my screen? Right, let's have a look. Gail Ford says that Tim's I sent will be another week. They said 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I will go and check. I'll check this week and I'll check next week as well. Yes, Anne is a woman of substance. Janice, I love pralines. James says Tim Hortons is our favourite too. Have it to Amazon. Look, I got it sent. I think it was Candice. I think it may have been Candice that sent me my first tub of the instant Tim Hortons vanilla one. You know, it's lovely, and I was hooked. But you can't get it in the UK. I don't think. I think someone said I could get it somewhere, but I forgot to look. You can get it on Amazon, but it is incredibly expensive. We're talking like, I'm trying to think in dollars what it's probably something like $27 a tub. So it's very expensive. If you keep mentioning that coffee, then Mr. Horton will eventually give you a raise. Oh, just send me a crate of the coffee. Stephanie A. Dory says Princess Beatrice seems to be marrying very well. They have been friends since they were little. She looks so happy in the photos. I think the wedding will be a glorious occasion, if we get to see it. Vinny Blair says, slow down with the Tim Hortons coffee. Can't believe the stash you showed us is already done. Oh, that went in 2 weeks. That went in 2 weeks. Candy says, yes, it was me who sent your first Tim Hortons coffee. I remembered it was you. And it was lovely. You got me hooked. You started an addiction. Gail Ford says, HM the King, Mr. Horton passed away, sadly in a car accident many years back. Oh no. Ugh. Well, at least his coffee's still being made. PJR says, I always know when I cross the border into Canada, the Tim Hortons signs show up. Well, they need to branch out to the UK. I think they do very well. Gail says, I think there are Tim Hortons shops in Manchester and Birmingham, and they might carry it. Maybe someone out that way. Well, I'm not terribly far from Birmingham. I mean, it's a train journey, but maybe I could seek it out. Annette says, I'll ask again. Ooh, well, I may have missed your comment. Do you think the media is happy now that they've seen Archie, that they won't drag the Duchess through the mud after the tour is over like the last time? I think they've been on their best behaviour pre-tour for a little while to butter them up ready for the tour. Now they've got what they want, albeit, you know, they've had to wait for it. I think they'll be okay for a little while. However, if it's a very, very, very long gap before they see something, so let's just say Harry and Meghan don't put Archie on the Christmas card, then I think they'll start to get touchy. Justified or not, I think they'll start to get touchy if Harry and Meghan don't put him on the card. However, if they do put him on the card, I think that will keep them okay until when? probably his birthday. Yes, because then we typically expect to see something for his birthday. So again, if Harry and Meghan didn't put out a photograph for his birthday, that would probably rile them up again. So I don't know what Harry and Meghan are planning. We'll have to wait and see. But I would like to see him on a Christmas card. I really would. You know, whether the media would like it or not, I think most people, if they're really being honest with themselves, would probably like to see Archie on a Christmas card, on the official Christmas card. So here's hoping. I do have my fingers crossed, but we all have to accept that if they don't want to do that, that is their choice, and they are entitled to do that. Gail says, phone them first before you make a train journey. Yes, I think that would be very good. Barring that, I will send you a huge supply, but by regular mail, which will take 2 months. Thank you, and I will pay for a regular supply. I will PayPal you. If you have PayPal, I will PayPal you. I need a supplier. Like I say, it's an addiction. Lady Buckingham says, I can't see why Archie would not be on the Christmas card. Like I say, we don't know. It's entirely up to them. Hating the King says, I want Philip on a Christmas card. Oh, we all want Philip on a Christmas card. Vinny Blair says, some of the media will continue to bash Meghan. Some are just vile and their hatred deep-seated. More than likely. I mean, like I said in, was it yesterday's live? No, a live chat a few days ago. There are some figures that keep getting interviewed in the British media. You know who they are. Some of them may have morning TV shows. Some of them may be asked to comment. Some of them may be ladies. You know the sorts of people I'm talking about. Yes, I agree. Those people deeply ingrained, and it doesn't matter what Harry and Meghan do. Those people, and we all know who they are. They will remain nameless. Those people will continue to bash unabatedly. We know they will, and it's at that point now where we just have to say, you know, you're spitting feathers over nothing. We're not going to listen anymore. We're not going to listen. We don't want to know. It's boring. We're over it. You just carry on saying what you want to say, because it's, you know, mostly falling on deaf ears, and we're just over it. Because the more people retaliate to it, the more they'll do it even more. Oh, what's the tiara? The tiara is Queen Victoria's sapphire tiara. If I get a bit closer, you can probably see. It's a very, very good one. I love this one. Ooh, Bernard says, pumpkin spice latte and chat with Elliot, the perfect afternoon. That sounds amazing. You know what? I would love to try the pumpkin one. That sounds amazing. Patricia says, I think once they are back from Africa, there will be photographs of Archie released. Whichever way the penny dropped, it's up to Harry and Meghan, not the vile press or the advisors. It's entirely up to Harry and Meghan. I would agree 100%. But what we can't predict, well, maybe we can predict how the press will react if they get no Christmas card. I mean, that I really don't know. I mean, that could whip them up into a frenzy again, couldn't it? Do you think we will hear from the Markle family after the tour? I'm surprised we haven't heard from them during the tour, to be quite honest. They usually can't stop, can they? Verna says, my favourite tiara of the Queen's is the Burmese ruby one. You need that one. I would love it. I haven't found a replica. Well, actually, tell a lie. I think there is a replica, but it's very expensive. In fact, there are a series of tiaras that are more expensive than the ones that I've got. The ones that I've got are the sort you get off Amazon and all the rest of it. But there are some, when I say replicas, I mean exact replicas, in rhinestones, of course. Not real diamonds, but they are the same exact scale. They are exact replicas, and they cost in the region of about £550 to £600 each, which is probably something like $750 to $800 each. That's a lot of money, and I would eventually love to start collecting them. You know, they even have some replicas of the ones I've already got, but they are better. They are way. They are exact replicas. So I would love to start collecting those. But like I say, they are very expensive and not quite in my price bracket at the moment. But maybe I might treat myself to one for Christmas. I don't know. Yes, we're not going to mention the M's again. Oh, Auntie D's can't get into the mood for pumpkin spice when it's been over 90 degrees in Atlanta. Oh my goodness. See, it's starting to get cold again now in the UK. I've got my heating on, so what? Oh, we're doing fine for time. That's fine. Do you know what? For some reason, I thought we'd gone way over time, and it's not over time at all. What's the name of these replicas? Oh, I'm going to share a link, but just give me a moment to find the link. I will find it and I will share it. Okay, hang on. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's there. Okay. Okay, right. I'm going to share the link. Prepare to be astounded. I mean, astounded. Seriously. Okay. Where's my chat room? Right. Okay. Prepare to be astounded. Open the link and we will take a look together. Okay. Oh, scroll down and tell me which is your favourite one. They are all gorgeous. They are all absolutely gorgeous. But they are so expensive. In fact, I think they are just really expensive. So, yes, it does have the Burmese ruby. I thought it did. Yes, it does have the Burmese ruby. There are also some that aren't royal replicas, but the majority of them are royal replicas. They are just incredible. Incredible. Let me know which is your favourite one. I think I know what HM the King's might be. I think it might be the one with the emerald drops. I think it might be the Vladimir one with the emerald drops. I'm thinking. But yes, I'm going to go back to the chat room and you can all tell me how wonderful those tiaras are. Where's my chat room? Here it is. Right. Okay. Tell me. And Frostmog Pay says, oh, bling. And Annette wants one of each. Mikhail wants the Queen Mary's diamond bandana. Yes, Candice, it's starting to get cold. Yes, well, I know the coldest place. I think the coldest place in the whole world is Sudbury. Jojo says the nasty press have made enough money off Harry and Meghan. They can buy their own Christmas card. Okay. HM the King says, yes, the Grand Duchess Vladimir with the emeralds that was in Downton. Do you know what? I actually think that on the Crown and on the Downton, I think they've actually used this website to get the replicas. I actually think that those replicas are from here. There you go. That's what I'm actually thinking. Ali G says, for some reason I like the stage tiara a lot. Jean K says, I love them all. How about the Duchess of Cornwall? Oh, the honey. That's the one I want. I want the honeycomb. If I had to buy one, because I've never, ever, ever seen the honeycomb anywhere. Not even a cheap replica. So yes, I think if I was going to get one, the one I would go for first would probably be the honeycomb. Yes, they are all really beautiful, aren't they? Georgia Sunshine Christie says, we are still in the 90s here in Georgia. Oh, too hot. What are people saying? Candice likes the fringe tiara. Well, I would like that one. I want all of them. Any. I want any of them. Hasten the King says Downton probably bought it off the web. Yeah, I think a lot of the ones that you see in movies are actually from this website because they are that good. Laurie Clark says, wowza, those are stunning. They are indeed. Yeah, the honeycomb is just amazing. Hitting the King says, they did, 100%. There's nowhere else that does them. Vernon says, they're amazing. I want them all. The Burmese is my favourite, but the emerald one is gorgeous as well. Most definitely. B2B Field says, there are haters already bashing Harry and Meghan for spinning the negative narratives about even... Oh no, they're spinning negative narratives about even their tour and how little it's supposed to mean, or how little awareness it's gotten for the UK Brexit stall. Like I said previously, Brexit is dominating everything in the UK. It's no slight on any other news that's going on. It's just that is the dominating thing in the UK. So the tour is getting coverage. There is like a daily recap being played out on the main terrestrial news channels. There are daily updates on the 24-hour news channels. It's being covered in the newspapers. But obviously Brexit is like, it's dominating everything at the moment. Liv Lumina says the honeycomb looks unique from the rest, kind of looks like an engagement ring. Yes, on Camilla's head, says HM the King. Elizabeth Kunz says, if I win the lottery, I will send you a... Thank you. If I win the lottery, I'm buying all of them. Right, I'm going down. Christy says, yes, Downton Abbey is in the States. Yes, it's everywhere. And I can't wait to see it. I really want to see it. Stephanie A. Dory says, the aquamarine elongated stones is the oval one for me. They're all gorgeous, to be quite honest. I'm gonna take another look because let me see. Yes, the honeycomb one I just really love. But also, the Spencer one looks incredible as well. I mean, I'll click on it and see if it comes up bigger. Yes, let's just zoom in. So the Spencer one looks absolutely incredible. I mean, that is just to die for. So I'm loving that one. And like I said, the other one that I really want as soon as it comes up is the Camilla honeycomb. The Camilla honeycomb is just absolutely fabulous. I just really want that, and I've not seen it anywhere previously before, other than on Camilla's head. Oh, goodbye to PJR, who's bidding us farewell, or bidding us adieu. Yes, I need a tiara cabinet, one with lights that make them sparkle. Yes, please. Yes, some tiaras are not favoured because of their weight. Princess Diana famously complained that the Lover's Knot tiara gave her headaches, so she didn't like to wear them for very long. The Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara is one of the Queen's favourites because it's light, so it's really wearable. And even with some of my replicas, some of them are really heavy, and they can feel a little bit weighty on the head. The heaviest one is actually probably Meghan's one. That's, I think, is the Queen Mary's Diamond Bandeau is one of my heaviest. And it can feel quite weighty. Yes, the honeycomb one was once owned by Lady Greville, but it was in a different combination, so it was reset. It was the Greville tiara, and it was reset into its honeycomb design now. Yes, Diana's tiara was beautiful. Vinny Blair says, Catherine took the kids to the Middletons Christmas service, but not the Royal Christmas services. Well, they have done a few. They have done a few with the Middletons, but they have done the majority with the Royals. But a few years ago, they did indeed go to the Middletons one in Bucklebury. Mikhail says, I wonder what the Royals keep their tiaras in. Boxes. I do believe boxes. and they're stored away. Yeah, crowns are heavier physically and metaphorically. Juana, hello. Thank you. And hello. Yes, I think the honeycomb would be heavy too, but I would love it. Becky says, would you like other tiaras? Any. If I could get any of these tiaras, they would be... But let me see. The ones that I haven't got. So the ones that if I was buying them, the ones that I would probably want the most because I haven't even got a cheap replica of them, is probably the Stage Tiara 96021, which is the Vladimir Emerald Drop, which is the interlaced circles with the Emerald Drop. I would say the Burmese Ruby. I haven't got a replica of that. The Camilla Greville Tiara, the honeycomb, and I would probably say this one. Now, I do have a kind of papyrus one, but this is the honeysuckle tiara. So those are the ones that I would probably say if I was going to buy those first, I would buy the ones that I haven't even got a cheap replica of. And then I just want any, to be quite honest. I love the spiky fringe one. The spiky fringe one is just amazing. You know, the proper replica of the Cambridge Lovers Knot is incredible too. So yeah, I mean, they're all just gorgeous. Senegal says, do you know if there is a central warehouse for the royal family ladies to store their clothes? No, there is not a central warehouse. You saw a documentary which said there was one in the 17th century. I do believe at one time there was one at the Tower. I think the Tower of London once had something like that. But no, they all have their own kind of, you know, individual storages going on. But sometimes clothes do become part of the royal collection. Is that what you mean? So any clothes that become part of the royal collection can, you know, be stored wherever they store all the items. Yes, I would love George IV's diadem as well, one that actually fits me, because the replicas I've got, they are really, really good for display, but they don't fit on your head. Right, now, I'm going to move on to other news. So, if you didn't listen to one of my previous live chats, the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester they have confirmed, well, they haven't confirmed, they've been spotted moving out of apartment 1, which is the apartment at Kensington Palace, which is next door to William and Catherine. It's a big apartment, so that's the one that was rumoured and speculated to be going to Harry and Meghan, which it didn't end up going to Harry and Meghan. So, they're moving into the stable block on the grounds of Kensington Palace, which is kind of close to where Eugenie is at the moment, and where Harry and Meghan used to live at Nottingham Cottage. So it's kind of at the back, the very back of Kensington Palace. Now, don't be fooled. These stables are not deep in horse manure. They are not covered in straw. They do not have an open stable door where they're just going to push the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester in and say, get in there, that's your new home. No. These are properly renovated, you know, accommodation. So it's smaller accommodation. I'm thinking they could be planning maybe on stepping back on their royal duties, maybe. Or they're just literally downsizing, because that's what you do sometimes when your family's all grown up. And also making way for other royals. Could it be Beatrice? Could it be Eugenie? We don't know. So I'm thinking maybe Princess Beatrice might get apartment 1, and I'm thinking once the orangery work is done, the offices that are in Diana's old apartments will probably become available again for either Beatrice or Eugenie. So I'm thinking both royal princesses will get a substantial apartment at Kensington Palace at some point. Let me know what you think. And the reason we know this is because removal vans were spotted moving them out. Coco says apartment 1 may be Harry and Meghan's London base. I don't think so, because they did say that Frogmore Cottage was going to be their one and only home. So I don't think they would do that. So no, I'm not thinking that. I'm still thinking they may get rooms at Buckingham Palace. Maybe. But even that has not been confirmed yet. Juliet says, love the kick, thank you. Camilla could wear the George IV diadem. She could, technically, yes. B2B feels that I think Duchess Meghan won't be seen in a tiara until 2021, because as others believe that Duchess Meghan will be expecting again sometime in 2020. We don't know. We really don't know. I would love to know, but we don't. 18 the King says, Charles laughed at the idea of George IV wearing the diadem, so it's safe to say he won't be wearing it. No, I very much doubt it. Yes, 457 watching. Hello to everyone. No, I think Harry and Meghan, if anything, will probably move into have rooms available to them at Buckingham Palace. It's in the King says the Queen is planning on moving to apartment 1 so she can be next to the Cambridge kids and steal them for 8 hours a day, feeding them cookies and royal milk before sending them back wrapped in gold. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? It could be a granny annex. Carol says, I don't think Meghan is all concerned about wearing a tiara. She's very minimalist. I don't think any of the royals are that bothered about wearing tiaras, personally. But I like to see one, so, you know, lots of royal fans like to see them, and they are known in the family as putting on their best bits. So, you know, the royals know that when it's time to, whether they want to or not, they put on a show and they put on their best bits. Magna says at least 2 years before babies, please. Sonia says, isn't it possible that Harry and Meghan could still go into the apartments? After all, they do still need a London base. I always said that I thought they needed a London base. I always thought maybe they could have even kept on Nottingham Cottage, just as a London pad. However, they didn't. And I don't think they will move back into Kensington Palace. I really don't. Especially as their offices and everything is now under Buckingham Palace. So, and also they're being jointly financed by Buckingham Palace and Prince Charles. When Charles is king, it will be they will be financed entirely by Buckingham Palace. So, no, I don't. I think, if anything, they may have apartments or rooms, a suite of rooms made available at Buckingham Palace, which is not to be sniffed at. I think if you're saying that one of your addresses is Buckingham Palace, I think that's quite an accolade, to be quite honest. Ethan the King says, I wonder if they call her Grandma England, like she did with George V. Who knows? I just think, what did they call it? What did Charlotte say? Was it, no. What did they say? I forgot what they called the Queen. Granny Annex. Grandmother Anne is laughing. Sounds like where I live. Works well for keeping an eye on the younger folk. Yes. The Joker Rules says, why are the royals started to plant trees? Right, they are planting trees to protect the planet. My goodness. So the Queen's Commonwealth canopy is not necessarily to plant trees, it's to protect existing forests and rainforests from future development, so that, you know, that we're not cutting down the lungs of the planet, because if the lungs of the planet are cut down, we are not going to breathe. And I think all of us don't want to be gasping for air like fish, or we don't want, you know, our descendants to be gasping for air like fish that are out of water, do we? Gan, that was it. Oh, my goodness, I told you, brain like mush. Rooksy says, in my OK magazine, the girl having a wrong opinion. Oh, who said that? Live Live and Laugh says, it's a must that when royal couples marry, they have to have a home on the crown. No, it is not a must. But, you know, usually, especially if you're a working royal, homes are usually found. Gangan, Germany. That's a good one. I like that one. Satonia, hello. Are you finally caught alive? I'm having to drink. Oh, we're 11:10 in the UK tonight. Grandmother Anne says, we would all do well to plant trees where we live. Yes, I mean, can you imagine all the different homes? I mean, okay, maybe not if you've got an apartment or somewhere like that. Although, you can still put hanging baskets and window boxes and stuff. But if every home that had a garden planted one tree, just one tree in their garden, that would make so much difference. So yes, I think everybody, even if you already have trees in your garden, go out and plant one tree, just one extra tree, and that would make the world of difference. It really would. Annette says Kensington Palace was a rumour nightmare for them. I don't think it's where they want to live. They could have moved there, but they wanted privacy like the Cambridges at Animal Hall. Yes, entirely. Hitting the King says, I would love to know what they call Philip. Grandpa Shotgun. Grandpa Crash Crash. Catherine says, do you think when Charles is king, he will give Harry another title? Can Charles give them Windsor? No, Harry and Meghan are not going to get Windsor Castle. As much as anyone may love Harry and Meghan, they are not going to be gifted Windsor Castle. However, no, it's very unlikely that they will have a change of title when Charles is king, because kind of Duke is, you know, as high up as what they're probably going to go. So no, I think they will remain their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, for life. And I doubt very much they will see any kind of title change. However, they may get honours and that kind of thing bestowed on them by Charles. They may get orders and that kind of thing. But in terms of what we will call them, no, that's it. And that's another reason why I think it was good to set them up on their own, away from the Cambridges, because that's going to be their title, their roles for the next, until they die, basically. Whereas with William and Catherine, it's slightly different, because they're going to progress. They're going to be the Prince and Princess of Wales, if it's bestowed on them, which I don't see a reason why not. And then obviously when they're King and Queen. So their journey and their path is going to be very different. They're going to have another couple of metamorphoses in their life ahead, whereas Harry and Meghan aren't. That's their lot, basically. So I don't think they'll be given anything else. It's entirely possible that Harry may become a Garter Knight, and I'm thinking that will be under Charles. I do believe a Marquis is higher than a Duke, I do believe. But it's very unusual for that to be given. Let me just check. Yes, I do think Marquis is the highest. Yes, I do believe it is. Where's my chat room gone? I keep losing my chat room tonight. I've got so many windows open. Ah, there we go. If the King says he couldn't give them Windsor even if he wanted, as it's owned by the Crown and belongs only to the Sovereign. Exactly. So no. I mean, don't get me wrong. They could, if you mean, could they have apartments there? Maybe, but why would they want to when they've got Frogmore Cottage? So no. I very much doubt they'll be living there. Hang on. Right. Right, I'm just Googling something. Hang on. Let's just go down slightly. Oh yes, that's right. Marquise is just below Duke. I told you, my brain is like mush tonight. I have a lot going on. Yes, it's King and Queen, Prince and Princess, Duke and Duchess, Marquise and Marchioness, Earl and Countess, Viscount and Viscountess, Baron and Baroness, and so on. Where's my chat room going? There we go. Juana says, someone's quieting down the trolls and haters. And Colleen says, I read that when Charles becomes king, he will make Buckingham Palace a museum. Pat Long said, planting trees is a good thing, royal or not. Let's at least try to replenish what we use. Just one blasted tree per individual, per garden will make a huge... It would. If everyone just went out and planted one tree, one additional tree to what you've already got, that would be a really big help. Colleen says, I read that when Charles becomes king, he will make Buckingham Palace a museum. No, it would always still be a working palace. What you've heard is that he may open it up to the public full time and use it as a workplace. So in other words, he'd still do investitures there, he'd still conduct his weekly meetings with the Prime Minister there. It would be like a big office, basically. However, we don't know if that's true. That's what the story says. So the story is that he would reside still at Clarence House, use Buckingham Palace for official business, almost like an office, open it up to the public. But Clarence House is adjacent to St James's Palace, which is actually the seat of the monarchy. People think it's Buckingham Palace, but it's actually St James's Palace. So by doing that, Charles would actually be going back to tradition and residing close by St James's Palace. Because it was only since Queen Victoria's time that Buckingham Palace was used as the official residence, of the official royal residence. But the seat of the monarchy has always been St James's Palace. And thank you, Tiffany, who says, do you think that the Princess Beatrice's wedding will be on TV? It depends. I mean, if I'm going to give you a fan flap, so thank you so much for your kind donation. Mwah. We don't know. It was only at the last minute that ITV picked up the rights to do Eugenie's wedding. There was a big fuss over will it, won't it? So we don't even know if it's going to be a big wedding, a small wedding, so we'll have to wait and see in terms of it being televised, I think. Yes, Buckingham Palace in terms of royal residences is relatively new. Island Girl says, thank you for your coverage of Africa. You are more than welcome. Annette says, does the water surrounding Frogmore Cottage present a danger to Archie? No. Well, it's not kind of it's not like a moat or anything. But, you know, no. I mean, obviously you have to watch children around water. Anyone does. But no, I mean, if they were that concerned about it, I mean, obviously their garden is enclosed, but if they were that bothered, I mean, you know, for kids that like to run off, you can put them on little reins, I think they're called, to kind of stop them from running off. But no, and as long as they're accompanied by an adult who's watching properly, it should be fine. No, I didn't see the documentary about Charles. And Sharona says, I have a 90-foot tree at the end of my garden, plus a plum and pear tree. Wow, well, you've got lots of trees then. I've got lots of trees, as you've seen, in my garden too. Annie says, stick with the cheaper tiaras. Well, I'd want to see one of the more expensive ones, I think, first, before I bought, like, loads of them. Not that I can afford loads of them, but you know what I mean. I'd like to see if they're worth it. We missed the yellow. Well, we need some good... Yes, I've got the gold one. But yes, I do need to get a new big size yellow one. Okay. Hitting the King says, if Andrew passes before Louis marries, then Louis will most likely be the Duke of York. Most likely. Hitting the King says, the documentary looked really good. He recounts his memoirs, his memories at the time of the investiture. Oh, I need to watch it then. Terry says, just a quick note, thank you for your unbiased reporting of the royal family. Let truth and justice prevail, though the heavens may fall. That is most definitely what I'm hoping for. Jill says, I was brought up on a lake. We were watched and followed. Yeah, you have to watch children around water, of course. And apparently that's on ITV Catch Up. Thank you. Oh yes, I wanted to comment on links. Okay, you just reminded me. So I had somebody saying, someone said, oh, my comments are blocked on when they're posting in comments. And I had to look at what the comment was, and it was actually a link. So, because I had a little bit of trouble with some trolls posting ridiculous links, or even some people were posting links to some of those YouTube channels like Lizard Ladies and, you know, some of the other things that I don't want promoted on my channel. I had to turn off people's ability to post links. So what that does is it submits your comment if you include a link, but it automatically gets sent to being held for review. So at the moment, I've not had a lot of time to go through all the comments held for review. So if you posted a comment with a link on and it's not showing up, that's because it's been sent to the held for review section so that I can review it before I okay the comment to be posted. But I am terribly behind on that because I've been a little bit preoccupied with what's going on in my own life. So I'm a bit behind on doing that. So if your comment hasn't gone through, that's why. Yes, Frogmore is more like a pond than a lake. Auntie D says, my son broke out of the kiddie rain at Disney store and the mall when he was 15 months. He broke and ran for Mickey Mouse. Oh my goodness. I did the same kind of thing, but for Thomas the Tank Engine. Yes, thank you to the moderators. And I'm going to give all of my amazing moderators a golden fan flap. So there we go. Thank you. A broken golden fan flap. Look, that's because you're special. So, mwah. And thank you so much. Yes, Archie does look very active. Ooh, why don't I buy the Kohinoor diamond? I would love to, but I don't think I have enough money. Thank you to Duchess of St Andrew. Lady Buckingham says, because we are broken. I think I'm broken at the moment. There we go. Now, was there anything else that I really wanted to speak about? Let me just go through my links. Don't want that one. No, I don't think there was, to be quite honest. So, okay, over to you guys. So, anything you want to talk about? And I've lost my chat room again. Right, why does it keeps moving on my screen? Hitting the King says, a broken golden fan just about sums me up. And me. Robin says, good job, monitoring the links is a great idea. The hate and bigotry needs to stop. Like I say, people were posting some pretty weird links. And also people were spamming as well. There was lots of, like somebody would post the same link or the same copied and paste comment in like about 50 different videos. So I had to do something about it. Should you send Christmas cards to Windsor? Or if you've got doubt, send them to Buckingham Palace because it will always get there. But I think I sent one to Windsor Castle once, and I think I had a response from Windsor Castle. But if you're in doubt, send to Buckingham Palace. Duchess Mariah says, Archie's getting out the way, as they say in the south, for a little sister. Ooh. who knows? LD Poodle says, I have a few British channels on my cable. I'll search for that. When is the Queen returning? A few weeks into October, usually. What are the next up-and-coming things on the schedule for the African tour? Well, that I can help you with, most definitely. So, it's Saturday today. So, Sunday, the 29th of September. So, arriving in Lilongwe. Now, I hope I've said that correctly. Is it Lilongwe? Harry will visit Nalikul College of Education. Yes, Nalikule. I think it's Nalikule. Yes, I've learnt that before. Kula is Kule. So he will visit Nalikule College of Education to see a network of young women and will attend a secondary school with the help of UK aid bursaries through the Campaign for Female Education. The project is supported by the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, of which the Duke is President and the Duchess is Vice President. Harry will then have an audience with the President, Peter Mutharika. In the evening, there will be a reception hosted by the British High Commissioner to highlight our common links and strengthen the meaningful modern partnership between the UK and Malawi. So it seems another day without Meghan, and I'll do Monday as well. So flying into the Liwonde National Park, the Duke will pay tribute at the memorial site for Guardsman Matthew Talbot of the Coldstream Guards, who died in May 2019 on a joint anti-poaching patrol with local park rangers. Harry will then proceed to the Liwonde National Park headquarters to receive a briefing on operations and witness an anti-poaching demonstration exercise. Before departing, he will dedicate Liwonde National Park and the adjoining Mungoshi Forest to the Queen's Commonwealth canopy. So there we go. That's the next few days coming up. And no Meghan again. Yes, Curtis. William and Catherine did unveil Sir David, the ship called Sir David Attenborough. So it's not his ship, it's named after him. And the little submersible Boaty McBoatface, and that was really good. So Catherine got the job of releasing the champagne bottle, and she made a short speech naming the ship. She looked gorgeous, and William holds some 650-year-old ice, and they use the ice with the air bubbles to monitor the CO2 levels in the air from that time. Well, we don't know the Queen's speech will be in October because at the moment Parliament is not prorogued. So technically, at the minute, there is no Queen's speech in October unless it's prorogued again. Yes, I do believe the... is it called Treetops? I think the Queen was staying at a lodge called Treetops. And when she ascended the throne, it would have been a nice museum. And I don't think it's there anymore. Yes, Jason the King confirms the lodge has been demolished and it's just a field now. I know that's really, really sad. Now, look, I'm going to go in a moment, but I can't go without mentioning the most poignant member of the African tour for me, which is, of course, when Harry walked his mother's footsteps. So, when we saw Harry walking in the actual minefield with the visor on and the protective gear, that wasn't retracing Diana's footsteps. Where Diana walked, that's when he was walking on the paving slabs, which is where Diana walked, with all the houses and shops and schools and things on either side. So, just goes to show, you know, how much raising awareness can do to an issue like landmines. So still plenty of work to do, but, you know, at least, you know, just knowing that Diana made a difference. And he also sat under the Diana tree, which is a tree that is the only surviving piece of vegetation which was actually there when Diana walked. So that was quite a poignant moment too. Right, I'm going to leave it here for this week. So, I am going to put out a weekly vlog tomorrow, but it might be a little bit shorter than what you're used to. So, if you're not subscribed to my second channel, Elliot's British Life, do hop on over to there and subscribe. I will be premiering my weekly vlog on there. Also, on this channel, I will be doing my Patreon patron-only chat at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m, 9 GMT tomorrow. So I will set up that chat and post the link to patrons only in the patron-only Patreon page and in the Facebook patron-only group as well. So, I'm hoping as many of you patrons can join me as is possible. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.